Can I tell you a secret? In the last few years, my team and I have helped hundreds of families relocate to San Antonio, and they all had one big problem in common. Figuring out where to live is really hard when you're not familiar with the area. What I find interesting though is that as big as San Antonio is, almost everyone that we've worked with found an amazing home in a community they love and just a few pockets of the city. In fact, a lot of y'all are actually neighbors right now and don't even realize it. So today I'm going to show you the top 4 suburbs that everyone's been moving to, what it's actually like to live in each one, and what the homes are going for in each of these areas. By the end of this video, you should have a pretty good sense of where to live if you're thinking about moving to San Antonio. To start though, it's important for you to understand why these areas are so popular and why so many people are making the decision to settle down in just a handful of places around town. It turns out that almost everyone that we talk to is looking for the exact same thing. They've told us they want to live in a newer home in a safe area with great schools and a 30 to 40 minute commute at the most. Now, even though San Antonio is a large top 10 city, there's really only a few places around town that are going to check all of those boxes for you. And to understand why that is, it helps to get a good sense of how everything is laid out around here. If you're checking out the map, you'll see that there's 2 major highways that loop all the way around the city. There's this inner loop 410 and the outer loop 1604. When locals talk about where things are in San Antonio, it's usually in reference to one of these 2 major highways. You're either inside or outside loop 410, or you're inside or outside loop 1604. And it's these highways that actually create boundary lines for the ages and the style of homes and neighborhoods around the city. Right along 410 is where you'll find the majority of communities built out in the mid-50s and 60s, with the neighborhoods getting newer and newer as you head further and further out. By the time you get to Loop 1604, you're looking at most of the development that started back in the early 2000s. So if you're like most folks reaching out to us and you're wanting a home that's either brand new or at most 10 to 15 years old, then you're almost certainly going to wind up in one of these 4 suburban areas outside Loop 1604. But exactly where depends a lot on what you're looking for in a community and what you're willing to pay, because each of these areas has its own distinct personality and price point for the homes there. Now, this first area is about as centrally located as you can possibly get, with quick access to major highway systems that'll take you just about anywhere else in the city in under 30 minutes flat. People often choose this location for its amazing school systems, the exclusive manicured subdivisions, and for the strong sense of community felt by everyone that lives there. And it's really a melting pot when you take into account all of the different neighborhoods that you're going to find on this side of town. People absolutely love living in this area, and it has a lot to do with all of the amenities, the conveniences, and the quality of life here. Right along 1604 and up Highway 281, you've got all kinds of high-end shopping centers, lifestyle centers, restaurants, and several grocery stores to choose from. And that just lends right into what makes this part of San Antonio such a desirable area. Everything was developed in such a way to give you quick access to everything that you need. It really creates a sort of a pod here so that everything is super close by and convenient. So you really don't even have to leave your community for some great restaurants, the best shopping, and fun stuff to do. And speaking of fun stuff to do, people absolutely love spending time outside here. There's a fair amount of topography in this area, so you can actually see much of San Antonio from up here on a really clear day. The beautiful outdoor scenery is a large part of what people really enjoy about living in this side of town. Many of the neighborhoods here are known for their large green spaces and their lush green belts with dog parks, walking trails, and large mature oak trees. There's multiple golf course communities with beautiful golf course views and all kinds of family activities with golf, tennis, junior camps and clinics, kids' days at the pools, and the HOAs here do an amazing job of really bringing all of the families together. You've also got quick access to the JW Marriott Hill Country Resort and Spa, which makes for a really great spot to unwind, maybe do some staycationing, and just pull away from the day-to-day. And there's also 2 TPC PGA golf courses with a 9-acre River Bluff water park for relaxing and spending time in the water. And in addition to the active outdoor lifestyle and all the amenities in the area, the families in this particular suburb also benefit from the Northside Independent School District, which is one of the highest rated school systems in all of San Antonio. You'll find some of the very best fine arts and sports programs in the entire city, and it's what tends to draw a lot of people out to this location. We've had clients from all around San Antonio selling their homes and moving their families to this area to take advantage of the school systems here. And speaking of homes for sale, there's a lot for you to choose from at all price points around here too. There's everything from entry-level homes for first-time home buyers and garden homes for easier maintenance, starting in the mid-300,000s, on up to luxury estates for millions of dollars perched on the tops of hills with views for miles. But the newer mid-range homes in the gated communities with parks and playscapes, walking trails, neighborhood pools, and open spaces for you to hang out with friends and families, those usually sit somewhere in the mid-500s to the $600,000 range. If you're checking out the map, the far north side is located 20 miles north of downtown, just outside Loop 1604 on both sides of Highway 281, So if the far north side feels like what you're searching for, my team and I, we're helping our clients find amazing homes and communities they love all around San Antonio, and we'd love to have a conversation with you. Our information is down in the description below. Now, if you're looking for the exact same quality of life for a fraction of the cost, then you're going to want to pay attention to this next suburb, because this has been the fastest growing, most in-demand part of San Antonio for the better part of a decade. And it has a lot to do with the newer subdivisions, the top tier schools, and the general affordability in the area. 10 years ago, when my family and I moved to San Antonio, we settled down on this side of town to raise our family, and it's where we've been ever since. Driving through the area, what usually stands out to most people is just how new everything is. A little over a decade ago, there was hardly anything out here at all, and it just kind of felt like you were out in the middle of nowhere. Fast forward 10 years though, and now you've got one of the most active and vibrant communities in all of San Antonio. The majority of the shopping, it's located near Loop 1604 along the major corridors of Culebra Road and Petrinko, and it's where you'll find the latest lifestyle centers with some of the very best dining, entertainment, and conveniences in the entire city. The way that it's set up around here, it doesn't matter if you're looking to get a haircut, grab a cup of coffee, snag a bite to eat, or go to a movie. Everything is about 5 to 10 minutes away from everything else, which includes SeaWorld just on the other side of the highway inside 1604. And if that's not enough to feel good about, the schools here in the Northside Independent School District are some of the very best you'll find anywhere in San Antonio. And all of the teachers, coaches, and administrative staff that we've dealt with have been super involved and really good with communication throughout every school year. Now, I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all, okay? Both of our girls have gone all the way through elementary school and middle school out here. We've got our oldest going through high school, and our youngest just started her junior year. And all I can say about the schools in this area is that my wife and I are really glad that we chose to raise our family here. Now, there have been some crowding issues with the schools in the recent years because of all the rapid growth in this area, but the district has managed to catch up with the growing population with the addition of new campuses and hiring a lot of new teachers. And it ain't just the schools around here that's trying to keep up either. Home builders are also opening new communities and releasing new phases to keep up with all of the demand that we've been seeing out on this side of town. Now, there's some really great existing neighborhoods where you can buy a home that's maybe 5 to 10 years old that's much less than what you pay for something new. But this particular suburb is known as one of the hottest spots in San Antonio when it comes to new construction. We've got nearly every builder in the area at all price points building the latest home designs in neighborhoods with the very best resort style amenities, and they're doing it more affordably here than in any other part of the city. Right now, you can still find brand new entry-level homes starting well under $300,000 with some amazing finishes. And the same mid-range builders with price points in the $500,000 to $600,000 range up in the far north side, those guys have the exact same homes going up on this side of town starting in the low 400,000s. But what's really going to trip you out though is what's going on with the luxury real estate around here. I mean, these are the same $1 million homes that you'll find in communities all around Fair Oaks and Bernie and Spring Branch and Bulverde, and you can get one just the way you want right here in the far west side for something like $700,000 to $800,000. If you're checking out the map, the far west side is located about 20 miles west of downtown, just outside Loop 1604. And if you want to get the best deal on a new construction home in a great area, I'm telling you, the far west side is where you need to start looking. But if you have the budget for it and you're aiming for a higher end lifestyle, this next area is located in one of the most exclusive suburbs in all of San Antonio. And when it comes to living, working, eating, chilling, and playing, it's where many of our clients have found the very best of what the Alamo City has to offer. Now, this area is anchored by all of the shopping, dining, and entertainment right there at the intersection of I-10 and Loop 1604. There's the Shops at La Cantera, which is the premier outdoor open-air shopping mall in San Antonio, packed full of high-end shopping and several amazing restaurants with large patios, indoor-outdoor seating, and some really nice ambiance to take in while you're enjoying a meal. Just north of the shops, you have Six Flags Fiesta Texas, which is right next to the La Cantera Resort and Spa, which has its own resort course right next to the Palmer course at La Cantera. The scenery out here is just absolutely breathtaking with 360 panoramic views in every direction, stretching far enough to see downtown San Antonio on a really clear day. And that's just what's on the west side of I-10. Jumping to the other side of the highway along La Cantera Parkway, you've got the Rim, which is the main lifestyle center in the area with several more restaurants and one of the coolest movie theaters that you're ever gonna see. There's also Top Golf right around the corner, Andretti Racing if you like indoor go-karting, and if you're wanting to check out some indoor skydiving, you can also hit up iFly, which is just right next door too. Now, even though there's a ton of high-end shopping, restaurants, and entertainment in the area, the neighborhoods themselves can best be described as unspoiled. In places like downtown, where you've got very urban things to do, you have all those things here too. But what you also have are some of the best trail systems and natural areas and golf course views in all of San Antonio. It still feels like you're far outside of the city, and this land that you see with all the greenery, it isn't going to change. It's made for you to enjoy. With this location, there's such a range of places to live, and it really affords you access to some of the best neighborhoods, the best schools, and the very best home life in all of San Antonio. You'll find established neighborhoods nestled in the hills, shaded beneath the treetops, and entry-level subdivisions and gated communities with amenities for everyone to enjoy, starting in the 400,000s. There's newer subdivisions still in construction where you have the opportunity to pick your own lot, choose your own floor plan, and design your home with all of the latest finishes starting in the 500,000s. And it's also where you'll find some of the most expensive luxury real estate in the area, with multi-million-dollar homes on hilltops high above everyone else, looking like castles in the sky. Even the apartment homes in the area are absolutely stunning too. You can find the northwest side of San Antonio in zip codes 78256, 78255, and 78257. It's one of the most beautiful places you can live in the entire city, and it's an amazing place to call home. But I did save what might be San Antonio's best suburb for last, because it's something that you usually wouldn't expect to see in a much larger metropolitan area. It's known for its beautiful homes, its scenic hill country views, and its small town, down home country vibe that really draws a lot of people to this area. You have a community that feels like you're living way off into the Texas Hill Country, but you're literally just minutes away from everything that's going on in the 7th largest city in the country. Most of the shopping, dining, and entertainment is located right at the intersection of Bandera Road and 1604 around the Bandera Point Shopping Center. It's where you'll find the local movie theater, the larger big box stores, and one of only a handful of H-E-B Plus stores in all of San Antonio. Now, in addition to all of the larger commercial centers close by, people also really enjoy a lot of the smaller local shops and restaurants in this area. There's a really nice old town feel with a local bakery and coffee shop. There's antiquing, a wine bar, and a lot of open spaces and outdoor seating in the shade for you to just hang out, sit back, and relax and enjoy the scenery. There's just so many things to be proud about living in this area, especially all of the exemplary rated schools here in the Northside Independent School District. And because it's so centrally located in Northside ISD, it actually serves as the hub for a lot of the sports programs and special programs in the area. In fact, the agricultural program at O'Connor High School is widely regarded as one of the most successful ag programs in the entire country. And when it comes to deciding where to live, many of our clients were really impressed with all of the options that they had to choose from. You'll find a number of acreage communities with larger lots and plenty of space between your neighbors. There's newer communities right on the golf course, homes on top of the ridge with views for miles in every direction, and entry-level homes for first-time home buyers, and a number of gated subdivisions if you're looking for a little more privacy and exclusivity. Now, this technically falls within the boundaries of the Northwest Side, but I broke this off on its own because it's actually a separate municipality with a whole different kind of vibe here. And as an independent city on the outskirts of San Antonio, it's one of the most popular suburbs in the entire area. If you're checking out the map, you'll see that Helotes is located about 20 miles northwest of downtown, just outside Loop 1604, right off Bandera Road. San Antonio really does have so many amazing neighborhoods, but for our clients who chose to live in Helotes, they know that it's unlike anywhere else in the city. But pretty homes and nice neighborhoods aren't the only things that matter when it comes to deciding where to live. In fact, we've actually had a lot of people choose not to move here once they had a chance to come out and visit. So if you really want to know if San Antonio is the right fit for you, then check out this video right here where I keep it all the way real about the good, the bad, and the ugly of living here in the Alamo City.